Hi, this was meant to be a self-introduction video, but I can't seem to be able to talk about myself, especially on the internet. So I'll find something that I like and is related to the things that I want to say, and try to trick my brain and pivot back to my own story. So, guys who like stories? Yeah, of course. Everyone likes a good story. Something they can resonate with, right? Short stories that make you love characters that you've only known for about 20 minutes, or being lost in an entirely new world with their own set of rules and being blown away after the climax of a year-long build-up. Recently, I stumbled upon a comic under a web novel that I started reading. It's from chapter 38 of Shadow Slave. It talks about how, in the end, the heart always wins out. No matter the cost or temptation, we will always be put back to our true desires and where we can find peace. You know, sometimes you hear some crazy stories from real life and fiction of someone who has set their heart to do something if they got them bring it to completion. An example from reality can be this man from India who has lost his wife because the nearest available hospital was too far away. He spent 22 years carving a path through a mountain so that no one else in his village would ever suffer the same fate again. Or a more recent one, about a team of 10 climbers who have conquered the 8,611-meter mountain, called the first winter ascent of K2. I know the name doesn't sound that cool and it's kinda long, but what if I tell you that this K2 mountain is one of the 14 8,000ers, which are independent mountains on Earth that rise above 8,000 meters. This team of 10 Nepali men conquered something that we consider impossible, and is now a historic celebration. So they're preparing to climb all the other 13 mountains, right? Wrong! The K2 Winter Ascent was the last one. They've already conquered the other 13. So you may think, what does the Winter Ascent in the name stand for? Why do they climb these dangerous mountains in the winter? Are they stupid? No, because they are crazy, that's why. In the standard spring and autumn session, these 14 mountains had already been conquered by the 1970s. But they chose to challenge it during the blizzards and total isolation without the fixed rescue lines or helicopters to save you, risking their lives. These feats are so grandiose that the average people like you and me in this modern society are not gonna do or even be the first-hand witnesses. Maybe a very few times in our lifetime. Unless we get so passionate about something, have dedication to pursue it, and even wagering all the comfort that we've already built around. What about all the climbers that lose their lives to reach the summit? They know very well the dangers and do it regardless. Can we still talk about passion? Something that brings them to their demise, even though they have people who care about them. Maybe they even had a family, children, but they decided to risk it anyway. For what? The love of the game? This resembles more to an obsession, right? But then, what about that man who carved through a mountain for 22 years? With achievement now complete, some people say that he's a hero, and he had the dedication to persevere for more than 2 decades. But what about the people in his village in his time, seeing a man losing his sanity, hating a mountain so much that he embarked on a feat no one knew was possible? There is obsession too, right? In fiction, there are plenty of examples. I've never read Moby Dick, but I know the story of Captain Ahab, and there we can find another side of the same coin. Because if there is a side of beautiful dedication, there is space for terrifying obsession, where the captain is so obsessed with killing the white whale that everyone around him, his own crew, is manipulated, driven to share his personal goal and leading them all to their deaths, except for one. And all these people, dedicated, obsessed with something, I envy those people. They have set their minds as if they have clarity, one purpose in life, doing something they love without a care in the world or about other people's view, as if they are in a totally different dimension. I envy that feeling. Throughout my life, I've had a lot of different interests. I was never the kid that pours a lot of time in a single thing perfecting their craft. I changed path whenever I got bored, miles before becoming any good. And As the time stretches, I realize that I truly am master of none. And I'm here to change this. As I keep losing focus and interest in things that I initially really wanted to do, I want to change. Be really good at the craft, or maybe inventing a new way of craft that is unique to me, to overcome my flaws, and try to blend all the things that I've learned, and maybe finally bringing something to completion. And what better way than games? I know that was a lot of yapping. I somewhat tried to make it more profound than what it actually is, but this is a realization that is dear to me. And who knows, maybe in the future I'll be climbing mountains in the winter. Fact is, I love games. I love the story that can be told by them, the heavy weight that they can carry, and all the emotions behind them. And this time won't be like the others. I mean it. I want it to be my obsession, as I blend all the past and future things that I like into the creation of games and stories. Of course, this is not an original idea. I know there's a lot of indie game developers, and I'm very well aware of the time it takes to make a game. So as I'm still at the very beginning, I'll do short and sweet little projects that will hopefully take less than 2 months to do. I already have some experience in finished projects, so the next video will be about them. And that's it. Hope you find something good that you can get obsessed with too.